Hello and welcome to Chronic Conditions Coffee and Connection. My name is Leslie Field. I will be your host. Right now we're meeting on Wednesdays. We're meeting at lunchtime, Los Angeles time. However, that's subject to change depending on when anyone and everyone is available. Let me tell you a little bit about myself and about this group and what's going to happen. So I decided to start this group because I myself have been managing multiple chronic illnesses, conditions, whatever you want to call them, one since I was born. The bigger one happened when I was 18 years old. I was diagnosed with chronic kidney disease. It's been interesting coming into a better relationship with my body and my disease over these many years. I did start a podcast called Sick and Seeking. You can check it out. Season 2 is coming soon, and it explores sickness and healing. And I had the inspiration to create a group where people could come together and talk about their chronic conditions. If I'm honest, it sounded like such a downer. I was like, I'm not running that group. That's just like, who wants to do that? Who wants to sit there all day and just like talk about their chronic conditions? Yeah, it sucks. We know it sucks. So here I am. I'm doing it after all because I know this can be a really supportive, impactful, and just really, it's a needed space for people to come and to share. So here I am showing up, not only for myself, but for others. So how is this group going to be run? So this group is for men and women. It's for men and women of all ages. It's for people on all different paths, journeys, places of their diagnosis journey, whether you were diagnosed yesterday with POTS or RA or whatever it is, or whatever, you are welcome and to join and to be with us in this community. So how is it going to work? So first, I'm going to go over Zoom. So do not worry if you are new to Zoom. I will go over the functionality. This space, like I said, is for everyone who's having to manage and deal with a chronic condition. So that means people of different generations who maybe are not as familiar with Zoom. So don't worry. I'm going to give you a little tutorial, a little intro. We're not doing anything fancy. The only thing we're going to do that's fancy is a breakout. And I can explain to you how that's going to work, and I will. So we'll go over some Zoom basics. I'll tell you about the class flow for the day. We'll go over the shared agreements, which I do want to go through right now. I created 6 shared agreements for this group, and we'll always review them. I'll put them in the chat so everyone knows and just use that as our North Star. So the first one is lead with kindness, compassion, and curiosity towards both yourself and others. The second one, be respectful of differing thoughts and opinions. So in the space that I've created, all is welcome. So it is the belief of the host and the creator of this space that multiple things can be true at the same time. So in this space, we are going to be open to that possibility as being a reality. So 3, this is a judgment-free and comparison-free zone. So we're all on different paths, we're all in our own unique place and where we are with our diagnosis and our body. So we are going to do our best to not judge ourselves or others, and we're also not going to compare ourselves with others as best we can. The fourth one is do not take things and do not take in things personally. So we're not going to take things personally. We're not going to take them in personally. So it's important that we remember our sovereign space. We create our own energetic boundary around ourselves so that we can hold not only ourselves, but we can just hold that boundary from others as well, because people are going to bring emotion. Emotion is valid in this space. It's accepted. It's human. It's a natural thing. So we have to also remember that we are observing. We're not absorbing. It's very important. We're also going to number 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Make space and take space. So we're going to follow the event flow. We have limited time. I'm sure a lot of people have a lot of things to say and to express, but we do have limited time. If we find we need more time and to lengthen these meetings, we will, but for now they're an hour. So please do follow the flow. And lastly, and most importantly, we are not alone on this journey. We are here to come into better relationship with our diagnosis and our bodies. And we do this through community. So we show up for ourselves and we show up for others. So those are our agreements. So once we get into the group, we will do an entire group intro where people will be able to unmute and to answer a few things. So I'll go in the order of the participant panel. I'll invite you to unmute. You'll get to answer the few things and then you get to mute back up. Then we'll go into what I call the heart or the meat of what we're going to do here. So it is the breakout. We're going to be doing what's called partnered breakout. Now, if I have an odd number, someone might be with me, or they have the option to journal. I might try to do a three-way, but that's a little bit more tricky. But for now, we're going to do it partners in two as much as we can. So this is how it's going to work. We're going to break out into rooms. And like I said, there'll be two people. As soon as you get into the room, you have to decide who's going to be partner one and who's going to be partner two. Because partner one's going to go right away. And what's going to happen is that partner one is going to be answering a series of prompts that are going to come up on the screen. They're going to have a few minutes to respond to each prompt. Now, this is very important. Partner two is just the witness. They're just there to listen. They're not going to say anything. They're not going to unmute. They're not going to coach. They're not going to give suggestions and all the things. They're just there to witness. So if partner one needs silence, they're emotional, they can't work through what they're saying, partner two is just there to witness. You could say support. Oops, that's a reminder. Or hold space. Okay? I will keep all the time so that partner one gets all their time to speak while partner two listens, and then I'll let you know when it's time to switch. Partner two will then be answering all the prompts and all the questions, and then partner one will just be listening. So remember, when it's your turn to witness, even if you are a world-class coach or therapist in your daytime work and life, in this space, you're not. You're just there to witness. You'll probably have time to connect at the end for a few minutes, and then I'll close the rooms. You'll come back into the main room with me. And then we're going to do a movement practice. Now, I envision the movement practice post-breakout. It might move in the beginning. It might move around depending on just what I think maybe is good for the group that day or what I planned. So these movement practices are going to be very gentle. You could do them in your work clothes. You could do them sitting, you can do them laying down, you can do standing. Sometimes they might just be a relaxation and sort of some breath work, or so just some gentle things to get you back in touch with your body. Because I know when we are managing these chronic conditions, these illnesses, these things, we often have a lot of feelings about our body. A lot of them negative, a lot of them not very happy. We also don't always want to be in our bodies. However, I know from personal experience, not only that feeling of not wanting to be in the body and be frustrated and like not feeling great, I know all that very well. I also know very well and deep in my bones that there's often more there. There's often more beyond that sort of initial like layer. There's more there to explore and feel into. And I'm excited to introduce this to people, to get them back into their bodies, to see there's probably more there. Or maybe it's just pain. Maybe there is just pain that day. But what can also do is it can help you find the alignment between your body, your emotions, and just sort of your thoughts and your internal landscape. So you can bring them all back online together versus just always in your head or just like always thinking about your pain. We're trying to bring all those pieces together because it can be very healing. And then we'll do a closing. So we'll do like a little check-in if there's any final thoughts. If someone feels very keen to unmute, we'll give them, a few moments to unmute. You can write things in the chat. I'll remind you to have a moment to transition before you go into your next activity, to breathe, go outside, make some tea, just sit there in stillness, and then we'll talk about when we meet next. So how do you prepare for this event? Number one, you do need to sign up. Right now it's through meetup.com. So you do need to go there and find Chronic Conditions Coffee and Connection. You do need to sign up so that you can get the Zoom link. So it's very important that you sign up beforehand to get the Zoom link, and two, that you have a Zoom account. Everyone can have a Zoom account. They're free. Just make sure that you have one and you've signed up. Now, usually if you're like logged into Zoom and you have it all ready to go, it'll just kind of zoom you in there when you click the link. Sometimes if you're not logged in, you just have to log in and then you'll zoom right into the room. Okay, so make sure you have signed up, have the Zoom link, and that you also have an account. You can bring your coffee, tea, or beverage of choice. Don't forget that water. Kidneys need water. I know that. Optional is to wear something comfortable, to create a comfortable space, place that's relaxing. Maybe you can light a candle. You can also grab a journal and pen. This could be like a whole little moment for yourself to just sort of check in to your internal world and your internal landscape. And then that's it. So I would say also to just log in 5 minutes before Zoom 5 minutes, log on to Zoom 5 minutes before we begin, because otherwise, once we're in Zoom and I'm running facilitating, I won't be able to check my email. So please, please, please do make sure you sign up ahead of time and that you log in 5 minutes before, because if you're logged in 5 minutes before, I could probably send you the link really quickly. So anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it explains what we're going to do, and I really hope to see you at our next gathering, and I'm wishing you well and have a great week.